What's up, guys? Welcome back to Viewer Castles. Today we're going to start off with yrag. Castle levels is 32. So we'll jump into it on my archer.
What's yours will soon be mine.
Alright. So it looks like that was a fake snotter. Didn't pull anything. That's fine. I do like the archer. I barely saw it in time where I didn't get hit, so I like that. You know, the wall kind of blocks my vision for a long time. Jimbo's pretty easy to take care of, as long as you kind of kite him over bear traps. It's not too difficult. Oh, that's gonna be bad. Well, as I said that I get hit in the face by him, but that was only because he moved over the bear traps too quickly. When I threw them actually behind him. So I survived a Jimbo hit. Not the easiest thing to do. So far your castle's pretty good though. I do like your trap placement and all of that. It's difficult for me to engage this stuff. That could kill me. But it didn't. My headshot was a little delayed there. Alright. Alright, so there's a Zeke slowly coming towards me. Okay. Again, Jimbo. These are kind of the pretty much straightforward groups like so far. You know, Zeke, Defendatron support, Jimbo, Defendatron support. It's all pretty standard. Jimbo being enraged, if you kite him back a little bit, he will de-link from a Defendatron, like he did there. I wasn't really taking advantage of it or anything, but he did do that. I mean, I guess it's a little bit different compared to, you know, the standard everything is a Stairmaster combo that we've been seeing lately in level 32 castles. But it's still pretty standard groups so far. Not really much to say about them. Alright, let's see if there's any way to deal with this. Guess I'll just pull it with a volley. The trick to really killing Stairmaster groups is just cutting them backwards, trying to take the least amount of trap damage as possible. If you try to fight them in those narrow zones, you're guaranteed damage, whereas if you kite them backwards, you're only guaranteed damage if you don't dodge the trap damage, basically. Because their range isn't that incredible, and their attack speed is slow. So as long as you're constantly cutting back, and you time it out well with the traps, you can take no damage from them. Alright, I'll drop a volley. And also trying to line up so that, like, you hit whatever, like, right now I'm trying to hit the spider and the Defendatron all at once. This is going to be difficult. I just backed up into another group that I didn't notice. I'm not sure what's going to be pulled from it, though. Looks like nothing, I guess. Oh no, there's Mr. Boom Boom. Okay. Well, that was probably the best situation for me, because Mr. Boom Boom didn't really contribute to the fight, so that's good. Basically, this guy just takes forever to kill. Nothing really else about him. It's difficult. Alright, pull the next group, let's see what it is. Robo Shieldatron defending just a puppeteer, looks like. Alright. Another Zeke. Yeah, so far I haven't really seen anything that I can say that, you know, you can improve upon. It's really just standard stuff. I mean, the Robo Shieldatron is a little bit different, I would say. I mean, it's a time waster, obviously. There's no real damage potential in it. And so far, it doesn't really line up with the rest of your castle, because the rest of your castle has been mostly damage, 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 you know? But it's okay. Like, it's very difficult to get 3 stars on a castle at level 32 right now. Almost impossible, I would say. But it's very easy to get at least 1 star. It's pretty difficult to time out, in my opinion. Some people do time out every once in a while. I did pull 2 groups here, but the Zeke, for some reason, wasn't defended. I don't know if he just delinked from his Defendatron, but it's something you might want to look at. You might have it so that the Zeke runs a little bit too far in front. Okay. Another Mr. Boom Boom coming. This is a kind of good spot for Mr. Boom Boom because I can't really get behind a wall anywhere. Like, the best wall I'd be able to use is this one over here, to make it so he has to kind of come up towards me. But I don't care that much. I'll just drop a volley and it'll kill off his bomblets, and I can drop a headshot hopefully. Alright. Yeah, this castle almost feels like it was built in patch 18. I'm not sure if you've made any changes to it in patch 19. But a lot of the stuff that you have, I mean, the Zeke and the Zeke and the Jimbo hasn't really been changed in patch 19. But the Mr. Boom Boom is the biggest thing, I would say. They're not as good as they used to be. I have one of them in my castle just because it's good at time waster, I guess. Which, I mean, you kind of have a half and a half castle. You have like half of it being time wasting and half of it being just normal damage. I think that if you went full time waste, you could probably be somewhat successful, but at the same time you could replace a lot of these time waster groups with like you know, Stairmaster groups and add a lot more sustained damage to your castle. Although overall I've been doing pretty good at not using potions throughout. But I'm also down to 1 star. And there's the boss room. Robo Shieldatron, Defendatron. I think I would be just going for the Zeke here, would be the proper play. And it looks like actually they delinked, which is something that commonly happens in boss rooms, because there's so much space around with the reduced length on these bodyguards. It's very easy to delink, especially on a ranged minion like this, like a Zeke, or a puppeteer even. You just see this guy delinks as well. Very easy for that to happen. Not really anything you can do about it, it's just because of the big room, it makes it easy to delink. Alright, so we'll jump into number 2 in just a second. Alright, next up we have I Love Call of Duty Ghosts, castle levels of 17.
Who's first? Don't worry, there's plenty of pain to go around.
Alright, so a couple Stairmasters coming around. This is going to be a little bit difficult for my knight to deal with. To be honest, I should probably wait here for it. It looks like they're teleport ones, from what I can see, yeah. A smelly archer. I'm wondering if that will have bear traps on it? No, it's just a headshot. Luckily, if there's not really much space for them to teleport, they kind of just don't do much. A lot of the times they'll try to teleport into the wall and then just kind of stand there. Still think it's probably the best specialization you can use until 28. Alright. I would say this group itself, it seems like your Scorpio's a little bit too far exposed. Like, I'd like the Scorpio, even the Bad Dog to be back just slightly, the Puppeteer obviously back slightly, have it being led by the Squidly here. Because, I mean, I can kind of just like one-shot the Scorpio before he really even does anything. Alright. Another Stairmaster pull. Charging Cyclops, it looks like. So this one should be a little bit better. They might even teleport back into this room, which would be a little annoying for me to deal with. Alright, there we go. I would say that your Defendatron should be behind your Cyclops here, because it makes it much more exposed to a headshot, for instance, if I was an archer. Or Lashing Flames. Although I didn't get the smite off, so that's pretty good. But I did kick the Defendatron away, so now he's guarding kind of a useless Squidly. Alright. For some reason, okay, never mind. There's just another Defendatron up there. I was gonna say, why is there a skeleton being defended? But yeah, it's just another Defendatron up here that linked to it. Alright, so another group of Defendatrons. Stairmasters. I would be a little bit concerned that you're using too many Stairmasters on the specialization. Like, I think archers would have a little bit of an easy time in this castle, for the most part. Like, volley is pretty strong against these guys. If you volley and you create enough distance between you, they won't teleport out of the volley, they'll just walk through it. Okay, Zeke. I'm gonna have to use a potion here. It's a pretty tough spot with the trap and everything. Alright, and then the boss room. I don't really understand the one... Okay, the Defendatron. Yeah, the Defendatron needs to be a little bit closer to the Puppeteer for him to actually be linked to it. Also, the Puppeteer should be the one out here, not the Defendatron. Because it would make the Puppeteer immune, right? So you don't want to have the Defendatron out in the open. Other than that, that's fine. You know, again here, like, you have the Defendatron in front, whereas this Scorpio here is actually immune right now. So there's no reason to have the Scorpio not out in front, because it's just making it so if I was an archer, I could headshot this guy as an initiation, and then, you know, the Scorpio's vulnerable. Alright, this is a pretty difficult boss room for knights, though, I have to say. But I'll make it through it. Not too bad of a castle. I think a lot of the things is maybe you weren't aware that how Defenetrons exactly work or something, I don't know. But having them, you had them a lot of the time in a position where they're easily headshotted by an archer. Where if you just switch the unit that they were guarding and the Defenetron around, it would be a lot more difficult because it would block that angle off. Pretty good castle overall. We'll jump into number 3 in just a second. Alright, and for number 3 we have Kazow, castle levels 31. I've attacked this castle a couple of times. Only level 31, which is kind of interesting.
Watch and learn.
We'll have to see what he has that makes it level 31. Alright, so I want to volley this, but I'm feeling like it's probably going to be a Dr. Skull pull, if I had to guess. With all the spiders and everything. Maybe the second pull will be a Dr. Skull. Although I did kite it back pretty far, so we'll have to see how it all works. Maybe he was just going for Hungerbot pushing you backwards and then all the spiders launching on top of you and doing like 800 damage or something that way. Is this a full group? I don't think so. 5, 9, 14. No, there should be something pulling through a wall somewhere. Yeah, there's the other one that's pulling over this way. And this is doing a ton of damage to me, which it shouldn't necessarily be doing. I should have just focused on killing the puppeteer because the heals really helped him sustain through the volley, helped the battering ram sustain through the volley. Alright. Not too bad though. Alright, then we have some Stairmasters, which I can get a headshot on this Defenetron here pretty easily. I'm gonna pull back just to be safe. Generally the best way of doing it is just to take the one tick of trap damage or try to time it out, and then once you can create some distance between you and the Stairmasters, it's pretty easy to deal with them. But if you get too close to them, you just die. Alright. As I'm trying to teach people how to deal with Stairmasters, I die to them. It's okay though. Alright, this angle, I'm thinking I still can get an angle on this Defendatron. Yeah, I can. Drop a volley with extra damage. I guess I can try to fight it inside of this room, but it's pretty difficult. So you just take so much more damage if you actually try to fight them here, whereas you can take one tick of trap damage, and as long as you get like 2 health globe drops, you'll be fine. You'll still be able to heal back up off of it. Alright, Jimbo, he's on the shielding specialization. Which is okay, but he doesn't really do a ton of damage. I was trying it as well, so I mean, I can't say anything about it. The only thing I noticed is they just don't do good against archers, and obviously knights have to get close to the Jimbo anyway, so I don't know, I wasn't all that impressed with it. I do like your dampeners though. You don't really see them as much anymore. I don't really know why, but they're quite good. In these circumstances where you kind of have to be super mobile to not take damage from Stairmasters, you know, using roll and all of that sort of thing, they're pretty good. Alright, so I was going to drop a volley on the Hungerbots, but you actually have some Vamps over there. So I am going to drop a volley on myself and wait for the Vamps to kind of take damage. So killed 2 of them from that, and then all of them. It's kind of why I don't like Vamps. As long as you recognize that they're coming and don't waste your volley cooldown, you'll be fine. They do have decent damage, like I've said before, but they just don't have enough health to make them really useful. I'm way too close to these Stairmasters. The closer you are to Stairmasters, like it's so much worse. If you're far away, they're super easy to dodge because their projectiles are pretty slow, but when you get close to them, they almost instantly get thrown onto the ground, and you just instantly take like 300 to 600 damage depending on how quickly you react. I really like the dampeners though. It makes it a lot more difficult to engage these groups. Because a lot of the times you're going to be auto-attacking, and then as the spider's leaping through the air, you'll throw down your bear traps. But if you get silence bubbled like right when you're about to do it, it can just kill an archer that has pretty low hit points. Can I actually volley that? Yeah. I've been learning these weird volley spots that don't look like they should work, but they do. And that makes it so I can kind of fight it in a little bit better of an area, but not really. Alright. This is kind of a mistake, I think. Yeah. Okay, well, I need to aggro this because I'm just taking needless trap damage just standing there. This is a good setup though. It's kind of similar to the one that I use, and it works pretty well for me in terms of like how much damage it actually deals to people. It's pretty consistent too. I don't really know why. That one did a lot of damage as well, but it was either do that or take damage from falling on the trap. So there was probably some way that I could have aggroed that over the spike trap though. Usually there is. So far I like your castle, mainly because it revolves around traps and not units. I think that's the only way of creating a successful castle these days. Is you really just, you know, put your creatures in to support your traps rather than the other way around. Because traps are the only thing that really deal damage anymore. Not sure if I double pulled or not, but... Alright, Dr. Skull. Again, the dampener is really good here. Because, I mean, it's a space control unit in itself. And you have a lot of the castles at level 32 all revolve around positional based play. Like you have to get close to a Defendatron when you're fighting a Dr. Skull. And when you get silenced right when you leap on top of them, it's like, well, I wanted to headshot this, but now I'm taking a ton of damage and I can't wait for the silence to go away. So it just kind of ruins your position. This looks like another Dr. Skull pull, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to kite these back a little bit farther. So that when I aggro the next group and the Dr. Skull will come, he shouldn't walk far enough to be able to resurrect these. Actually, it looks like it was just spiders, because this is the boss room. Alright, so yeah, pretty good castle. Is there a boss? Looks like no. Okay. Maybe your castle wasn't finished or something, I don't know. But, yeah, so pretty good castle. It killed me, so that's good. Actually, this was number 3, so we will end the video here. If you guys enjoyed, please subscribe. If you want to be a part of yrag, you can email me at frenzycastleruns@hotmail.com. And I will put your name on the list. You can check the list in the link in the description to a spreadsheet. You can kind of check where your name is. And in general, there's like one viewer castle a day that comes out, although sometimes I do other videos as well. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.